Say, oh, it's showtime. All right, we are live. It is Pinot Time. Thursday here at in Sonoma County, and unbeknownst to us, until we paid attention last week, it's actually also National Chardonnay Day. Chardonnay time doesn't sound nearly as nice as Pinot time, but we make a Chardonnay. So we make it, right? We do. One Chardonnay, mostly so we can do wine dinners, right? So we have our white wine drink for wine dinners, and we can pair with our lobster and Chardonnay that we unfortunately had to cancel this year because of this dang virus. But I put Chardonnay in my glass. What do you have, Ben?
Well, I went deep into my cellar and found a case, almost a case of 09 Peter Chardonnay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
I went deep in your winery and came up with the 18, wherever it is. There it is. And can anybody notice the difference between mine and Ben's bottle? I'll pull up your bottle.
We need a bottle.
So at some point, I don't know what year it was, we went to green foil caps. Oh, David cannot hear us. Can you hear us now, David? I can hear myself, but that doesn't help. No, my tech guy is going to go take his computer off and see what's going on. Anyways, we switched to the green foil caps because we were giving people, we were pulling the wrong bottles, right? Put your bottle up again, Ben. There's Ben Chardonnay. Look, here's my Pinot. See the difference? Couldn't really tell. So anyways, Chardonnay now is a green cap. If you see that, makes it easier to find in your cellar. I have the 18, which is the current vintage.
And so hold up your glass for the color.
Look at that.
The difference.
Kind of cool.
Well-aged. This is 11 years old wine. It's aged well. It has just a really complex nose. A little bit of honeyness to it, but it still has that apple and the apple and melon in there. But it's well aged and probably ready to drink now, or probably last year at its peak. But very interesting to go back and look at some of our older Chardonnays, because when we first started, we were probably better known for our Chardonnay than we were for our Pinot. And the broker that we had at the time kept loving it so much he drank all the Chardonnay and sold little of it.
Your broker did? That's hilarious.
The broker did. He said, I love this. His wife was working at Williams-Sonoma at the time, and she kept comparing, I love this one. So we were probably better known for our Chardonnay. And then there was the ABC, anything but Chardonnay. So we stopped making Chardonnay in 2001 was our last year, and then we didn't take it back up again until we moved up to Timbercrest Farms, our new location.
I gotta say, first thing I gotta say hi to Jonathan and Michael. You guys are both on. I love it. But Jonathan just said he's not a white wine fan. Jonathan, you got a lot to learn. I'll tell you. No offense. White wine, Chardonnay, delicious while you're cooking dinner. Goes great with some foods. Day drinking right here makes it easy. And Ben, your Chardonnay is a little more crisp. It's not heavy. It's not big butter and oak. It's a nice crisp. There's some deliciousness to it. It comes from an old apple orchard. And when we pull the grapes in and they're pressed right away, it literally tastes like unfiltered apple juice. Oh, Jonathan, I'm gonna change you. You got it.
Just remember that the white Chardonnay grape is the white Pinot. It's also called Pinot Chardonnay. So it is the same grape, just the white version of the red grape.
White Burgundy, yeah, right. No, I used to always say I'm not a Chardonnay fan. They were too heavy for me. I didn't want to think while I drank. And I absolutely love our Chardonnay, and I find myself drinking more and more. So, good job, Ben. Once again.
That's why I was practicing yesterday for my dinner.
You were, and you sent me a photo because we've been talking a lot about we're not working enough on what pairs well with Chardonnay. So Ben knew today's National Chardonnay Day, so we're going to drink our Chardonnay. And he also knew that we're going to be pulling out a 14 Leras and a 13 Leras. And so I'm guessing your mind started going. What's that?
And I have a 17 Leras.
Oh, did I not say that? I meant 14 and 17.
Yeah, no, you said, but It's corrected. It's 14 and 17.
It is 14 and 17. He is right. But let me show you what he decided to pair with the first one. Look at that, baby.
So you noticed that the rosé was down quite a bit. We hadn't opened the Chardonnay or the Pinot, but that was coming. So
the rosé was the shopping wine. You need the rosé while you shop for fishing wine too. That works. You can see that's a current vintage Chardonnay because the green cap, and everybody already knows that. And then that's the Pinot. And how did it go?
Well, so you have another picture. That's my grandson and I roasting on a barbecue the 5-pound king salmon, which is absolutely fresh, beautiful fish. I think it was caught that same morning. So we were very, very fortunate.
Did you get
Santa Rosa Seafood.
You could have said yes. Nobody here would have known. And here's your after.
Yeah. And then that's the barbecued salmon on a bed of sauteed spinach.
Not a lot of spinach on there with some nice lemons. Well, not to one-up you, but I'm also an excellent cook. And so you sent me your photos. And so I also made dinner, and there's mine. It goes with a Chardonnay, it goes with a Pinot, and it went with a rosé.
Yeah, you didn't start drinking, though, while you were cooking. I could see that.
Clearly. Let's see. Oh, Jonathan's asked, David's drinking the sparkling. Nice, David. We're going to open a bottle Tuesday, so if you have another bottle, save it. Julia's saying that rosé is prepping food wine. I agree, Julia. So is Chardonnay. And then Jonathan's asking, did the salmon stick to the grill? Because he can't grill fish at all. Oh, Jonathan, you're in luck.
Okay, so I was taught this over 40-something years ago when I fished with the Scandinavian guy. You turn the fish skin side up, keep it the fillet. You salt it with regular salt till it won't take any more salt. Then you get your charcoals nice and hot, not too hot, but hot. Turn the fish over salt side down, and then you cook it halfway with the top off. Then you melt half a cube of butter to a half a lemon. That's the exact measurement. Just as it's halfway through, you make sure you daub the butter and lemon on there really quick because it'll flare up. You throw the top on, and another 5 to 7 minutes, and it's done. You run the spatulas underneath between the meat and the skin. The skin stays behind, and you lift the whole salmon off. And if you saw that picture, you see how beautiful that fish came out. You don't turn it. You don't do anything. The butter and lemon causes the fish to really heat up and the smoke part of it if you put the top on. Yeah.
And who taught you this?
A Scandinavian friend of mine from fish. I used to fish every couple times a week with him.
Did you
go around the ocean, and that was like for 20-something years we fished.
He is ignoring me. I don't blame you. So by the way, my macaroni and cheese, you add the powdered cheese mix, milk, and butter. You stir. Yeah, and the dinosaur nuggets, you just put it in like 425 or something. Yeah, that's you would think my kids are little, but they're 16 and 13. So anyways, there were no complaints. I would have rather been eating your salmon, truthfully. But anyways, Chardonnay. Maybe that's why I cook this way. Let's move on to some Pinot, because that is why we're Pinot time. And we're actually having fun today. Let me move my Chardonnay to the side. I've got a couple Pinots over here. If anybody has met me before or you've been to the winery, you know I love older wines. I love side-by-siding wines. I joke, and I'm going to say it here, I like my wine like my men, older, dirty, and funky. So we've got, Dan just said, yikes, yikes, yikes. We are opening up 2 Pinot Noirs today. We are opening a 2014 Leras Family and a 2017 Leras Family, both of which we still have available. Why do we have 14 available? I don't know. Oh, he's going to show us the corks. Why lie?
Interesting. So these two, this is the Chardonnay. Let me get it in front of you. The Chardonnay cork from 09. 09. And you could see, I mean, the cork is in beautiful condition.
That is.
And that's 11-year-old cork. That's what happens when you buy good quality cork. And then this is the 14. You can see the color on there, but the quality of the cork has just held up really beautifully. And so that's what we look for. Is, I mean, if you're going to put a wine under a cork, you might as well have a good cork.
No, those are great. I finished my Chardonnay, so I can put Pinot in the glass now.
I have a different glass.
Are you ready?
So we're going to talk about Nick Leras. We're
going to talk about Nick Leras. So Leras Family Vineyards is the second longest vineyard we've been working with, right?
Yes.
Peter's Vineyard is the first, and then Leras. And let me pop up a quick little photo of Ben and Nick. Here they are. Ben looks surprised, but he knew we were taking the photo. So there's obviously you see Ben. Thank you.
Ben, Nick.
Ben, it would have been awesome if you'd been wearing the same shirt. I'm just
that would have been. I wear them once and throw them away.
You do not. That is ridiculous. So there's Ben. I hope not. So there's Ben and Nick, obviously enjoying some Leras Family Pinot in their glass. He does a phenomenal job. I love Nick. Nick and Vina are both fantastic. Vina is his wife. They are old school farmers. He's got a cannon on his vineyard that shoots off every so often to scare the birds. Birds could give a crap. They're so used to hearing the canyon. They don't care. He has great figs. He's plums. He's amazing.
Oh, his French plums are when we go start walking around his vineyard, Nick has them start when he starts laying them out on a board out in the sun to dry them. That's when we hit that tree. Dave and I hit that tree. That is definitely like candy hanging from the tree.
It is candy.
Prunes.
Jonathan's asking, do we source all of our fruit? Yes, Jonathan, we source all of our fruit. We are not, Ben is not a farmer. I don't have a green thumb. I can't do anything. Ben just takes the fruit he gets and pops little sparkle on there and magic in the glass, because that's what I think you do. But let's talk about the wines. So we got a little 2014.
The 14, we looked at this and had pink cherries and raspberry on the palate, concentrated flavors. Now, some of those flavors have moved off a little bit to get us, more into a little red apple in here, as the thing ages, those fruits change a lot. And so it just has, it started out medium bodied. I think it picked up a little body over the years, the 14 as it aged.
Haven't we all?
Yeah. But mine usually is in weight, like in pounds.
Sorry. I will tell you, this nose is gorgeous. I don't even know if I want to drink it. I just want to smell it. Oh, Frankie says Slick Nick. I love it.
So he knows Nick? Nick ran the potable water in the county for years and years and years. I think he sold a gallon of water, or a penny a gallon or something, but he had lots and lots of trucks, and he drove, he filled swimming pools and water for people's property, and earthquake problems. He supplied water. So that was his job. And he had this farm he lived there, and his family lived there. He had a couple of generations, and he has this beautiful property that where we source fruit from is called God's Little Acre. Now, we don't put all that on the bottle, but we do put the Leras Family Vineyard on the bottle, because it is a family operation. See, I don't know, he's got 28
children.
I don't know, kids, grandkids, and great grandkids, all connected. Beautiful. Just such a beautiful family.
They're an amazing, warm, welcoming, loving family. They're absolutely incredible.
He also travels with us, and he's taken a couple of cruises with us. And we loved Nick when he came with us. Unfortunately, we had to cancel this last trip to. We were going to see his native island in the Aegean, but it didn't happen. So, but anyway, he came with us on a river cruise. Bone. And we do all these wine stops. We stop at all these great wineries and vineyards that we visit, and they welcome us because they know we're in in the trade, and we bring lots of people that are interested in buying and drinking the wines of the area. So we went this one spot. This is Nick, and then we have to show you. I saw this little statue on the table where they were pouring the different wines for us, and I picked it up and I looked at it. I go, oh my God, they know Nick.
They did, and they didn't know Nick, to be clear. But this doll is our opinion, Saint Nick. There, all these saints were in the winery, and look, he's holding grapes. Is that uncanny? Look at that.
I took that picture of Nick and his
doppelganger. It's called
doppelganger. Yeah.
Look at that. Only difference is the height. If you want to be truthful here, that's it.
And that was in Provence. And that was a wonderful tour and travels we took.
And Nick is the one who, in a previous video we did, I was telling the story on how Nick, when he was younger, used to steal his dad's wine from the barrels, put it in bottles, and sell it to all of his high school friends under the bleachers. Right, during the football games and the games of the school, he'd be the one under the bleachers bootlegging his dad's wine. Hey, make a buck.
And it's funny because Nick was a neighbor in the city. We both lived very close to each other in the city. We didn't know it. He lived in Portola district.
And how did you meet Nick? Wait, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to hold for a second because I need to take a sip of this 14 Leras, and I haven't yet. And all I'm doing is smelling it, which is amazing. But
we'll hold our breath and wait.
Oh, you're going to hold? You want to watch me?
I'll join you.
You should. Oh, my God. That is absolutely delicious. Absolutely. And I'll go through a little bit of the differences with age in a second. But, hold on, David. David, you must have gotten volume. Thank you. I'm very happy for that. He just said, let me pop it up for a second because I love verticals. We just built out our new cellar. We will have all of our wine accessible in a couple of weeks. We'll be able to put together all our verticals. We have wine going back to 07, 00, and 08. 8-year vertical of Mukaida. Nice.
Wow.
In the clubs in 06.
I'll do the commentary.
You did yeah, and I think David, you should ship Ben and I both back a bottle, and we should
or an invite.
And we can do all this. I'll wear a mask. I don't mind.
Yeah, we could do a Zoom, and we could lead the tasting.
That's what you want, David. You let me know. Actually, that would be a lot of fun. We are releasing our Mukaida next month, and we are going to, Ben, I don't know if you know this yet, we are going to open this up one of the days, the 18 Mukaida, and taste it, which will be a lot of fun. Hey, Ross is on here too. Hey, Ross, cheers to you. Loving that. You guys are so much fun. So are you, Ross. Anyways, back to the 14 and the 17. I apologize. Ben, do you have 2 glasses?
Yes, I do, but I have to empty one.
Oh, well, I think, you know what? I have faith. Look at that. Huh? Okay, so I'm going to,
What I'm going to do is, because it's just me and the wife, so I don't want to have too many bottles open.
And they have leftover salmon for dinner, by the way. You can come to David's in Cincinnati at any time. Well done. I'll check flights when we get off this thing. I'm kidding right now, but not quite yet. Maybe a little bit later. But anyways, well, Ben is pouring from his Coravin. So the Coravin is a wine preservation system. It was invented, if I'm correct, by a surgeon whose wife was pregnant. He still wanted to drink good wine. Has a needle, goes into the cork. You can pull out as much wine as you want. And then when you pull the needle out, it fills the rest of the bottle up with nitrogen. And so, like, for example, it would fill this part up with the nitrogen. I guess you really can't see. And then you can enjoy the wine later, which is phenomenal. Julia, you're not getting leftovers. That's all I know. Okay, so I got a white piece of paper. Not that I don't have white walls, but a couple of things about wine as wine ages. And Ben did a great example earlier with the Chardonnay. So wine as it ages, this is my 14, this is my 17. If you look at colors, a little bit harder to look on the camera here, but if you look in, older wine turns a little bit browner, a little bit darker as it ages. Obviously, so does the Chardonnays, right? So the 17 Leras has got a much redder, bright, vibrant, that little more that those ruby tones to it. I don't know if you can kind of even see here, the 14 is not all that much older than the 17, but tends to pick up more of those browner, dirty looking, for I guess lack of better words, definitely darker colors than the newer vintage. Another way to do it though is tip them on the side, and then you can really see some differences. Oh my gosh!
Around the edge is where you see the color. A little bit of the orange shows the change of age from the ruby to a bit of orange color to it. The more orange, the older the wine is. A good way to identify older wines right off the bat.
Yeah, if someone's pouring you some wine and it's orange or brown, you're immediately clued in. It's a little bit older. So if you side by side, I'm holding these up against paper, and you can also see the outside rim, which is the meniscus, it's called. And the younger wines will have more of a brick orange. Thank you, Ross. You're correct. The older wines have a bigger meniscus, which is a bigger, like a clear rim around the wine. When you're looking at the wine, you're looking at this part right here when you're holding the glass sideways. So that's one way visually you can see some differences with older wines.
So with this wine though, it starts out with a typical burst of red fruit and a good measure of classic Russian River Valley earth and dirt. I mean, this to me, and it always has been, of the wines that we make, this is the Russian River, the Leras family is the quintessential Russian River Valley Pinot Noir that shows the earthy mineraliness of that area. And we have loved this, working with this vineyard, and the expression of it is just what we look for, or what we would try to explain to people about what the Russian River Valley Pinot Noir produces. And to me, this is the quintessential Russian River Valley. It has all compact flavors and raspberry and strawberry, Bing cherry fruit when it's young and fresh like it is now. Some of that falls off, and so we get a little bit of orange peel in here, but the appliness on the older wine really surprised me on the 14, and that really shows through again. Another thing that's Russian River is known for.
Do you know if the 14 Leras family and the 17 Leras family were made with the same clones? I'm sure the percentages are not the same.
Yeah, no, and it's we as we've spoken before, I keep all the clones separately from each vineyard as they come in. We keep them separate, and then we put back together. So with Nick's vineyard, we use it in the Pomard and the 777. So those choices are taken out very first.
Not all of it, though.
No, just the parts that go into that particular blend. We take those off, and then the rest of the vineyard we use to make the best parts of that go into the vineyard designate. Not all parts that we use. We get a lot of fruit. We get 35, 40 tons of fruit from Nick. So
really, Nick gives you a lot of fruit?
Yeah, we get a lot of fruit from Nick. So
I know.
So what we do is the parts that we don't use for the vineyard designate, the ones we originally used for the home wine, then they're vineyard designates. The rest of whatever is left over, sometimes there is and sometimes there isn't, but when there is, goes into the Russian River, our blend of Russian River Valley. So we use all of it up, and we use the Nick's vineyard. We get 115, 667, 777 of Pomard. He also grows a heritage clone, Behringer clone, and I'm thinking that he says it's Behringer. I don't know. I couldn't tell you for sure, but I'm guessing because his neighbor is Joe Swan.
Oh, that could be. I have a question for you.
Might have been cutting some from the original wine.
Property thing. Frankie's asking, do you reserve blocks of fruit or certain rows of fruit from Nick and or from any of the vineyards?
Oh, I get the whole block of every vineyard I work with. The blocks that I get are mine. They're and have been. We get the same fruit. That's what makes us. That gives us the ability to be consistent year in and year out. It's the fact that we we work with the same fruit. He's not throwing new fruit at me. I'm
right. So you're managing in essence, because you're walking the vineyards with the growers. I already know this, and you are managing the same property, the same blocks every time, right?
Yes.
And so that does help with the consistency.
Always.
And that's what's neat too. So if you're joining us today and you're drinking any of the Lerases, there is a consistency. They're all that quintessential. They all have that little spice. What we love about Leras is consistent year in and year out. And the Leras, just like the Peters and the Charles and the Campbell and all the other ones.
How does he do that?
Well, what I do is I think that the thing that set me off in the first place is that as a consumer, I was tired of like, you go and you find a wine that you really love. And you bought that wine. And then next year you go back and you buy the same producer. And man, it's like totally different. What do they shoot the winemaker, get a new winemaker? What do they do? So what I wanted to do was to do something consistently and then to do one thing really good. So that's how we picked Pinot. We live in the Pinot world.
The hardest red wine to
from Pinot heaven. So of course, what am I going to make? Cabernet? They get Pinot right on our doorstep. So I wanted to do one thing really, really good. So I wanted to focus in on Pinot. Right? So Pinot was at our doorstep, so we did Pinot. And to do it, I wanted to do it consistently year in and year out. So the important thing was that if people like Leras last year, they'll like it next year because nothing really changes. The only thing that changes is the weather that Mother Nature gives us.
Right, because what you do in the vineyard is the same. And I will clarify what Ben just said. Don't shoot the winemaker.
Don't.
To be clear, I just want to make sure everyone picked up on that without a doubt. Right. What do you think of the 17? So I've tasted these side by side. I'm a big fan of that. And the 17 is delicious, but my heart is with the 14 because it is just, they're both good. Oh my God, I should blend them and make a 15 and a half. Does it work on like that?
Well, yeah, it'd be a 16, wouldn't it? No.
Not if it's a 17 and a 4. Oh, well, 15 and a half. Well, I am the one doing the algebraic expressions reading.
We learned that last.
Trust my math. Yeah. That's correct. These are both beautiful. The 17 is a little more acid to me. It's a little bit brighter in the mouth. It gets me a little bit more right here. The 14 is a little bit more velvety. It doesn't quite have those acids. It has a little bit deeper, darker fruits. To me, the 17's got a lot more of that bright cherry and spice on it.
Yeah, plus it's got, that earthy and almost smoky bacon kind of from the toast from the barrel. That kind of falls off on the older wines.
It does. The 17's juicier.
Yeah, so this kind of melds in and you kind of lose that.
I am going to do this.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
I just got stared at over here. I'm just curious. Yeah.
Now you got a cuvee.
I have a cuvee of vintages. I know, like, is that an abacus? Yeah, what is this?
How is it?
But the
one you do blending?
When you put your nose in there, it just draws you back in. Like it took you a long time to get around to tasting the wine.
It did because I loved how it smelled. But then it was delicious. You don't have to blend your glasses together. But Ben, you told an earlier story on how Bruce blended the pomards of multiple. So I was trying that. It doesn't work as well. I'm not a good winemaker.
Well, that's how we ended up finding the pomard. That's for sure. At the end of the evening, putting the two glasses together.
Yeah, I told you so. Yeah. Georgia said I've got a 2015.5. It's a non-bridal, non-vintage specific. Yes, correct. Don't judge me. It's delicious. Unfortunately, Ben, all your wines are delicious. So I guess we're getting close to the end. So my question to you is, we're tasting the 14. We are tasting the 17. Do you have a favorite? It's kind of like Marcello and Vincent, your two grandkids. You have a favorite? Simone and Julia, who, by the way, are both on. Do you have a favorite? Do I have a favorite family member? I don't think my family's on, so I can answer that question very easily. Do you have a favorite?
All the favorites? Well, all the favorites are here. The ones that weren't favored, you don't see them because we don't put them out there. They're
Is
gone.
it about your kids or are you talking about the wines?
Well, either.
Did you girls hear that? That's funny.
Well, but to me, the complete wine today for me was the 17. It just is just everything about it just sings. And then again, it went with the salmon beautifully. We did the Leras and we did the Chardonnay with that. And either one of those wines just showed so beautifully with that lovely piece of king salmon. This is
my favorite thing about wine. For me today, the 14 was amazing and just sang. And so what I love most about wine, what I love most about this business is it is your palate. Do you like the wine or you don't like the wine? That's all you need to know in the beginning. There's nothing to disagree against, which is even better because that means he can have his bottle, I can have mine. But really, wine is, if you like the wine, it's great. Trust your palate. It's delicious. And there's different stuff about all the wines. Oh, yeah. And you dodged the family question nicely, I was just told. Yeah. Don't worry, we can close for now. You can deal with them later. Anyways, this was fun. Oh, it's always fun. We're thrilled everybody joins us. Next week, Tuesdays in the Cellar, we're going to open up a bottle of Brut. I don't know what else we're going to open yet. We haven't figured it out.
We're going to have to figure out a way to savor the wine.
Oh, I know how to do that.
Yeah, no, I know we know how to do it. We have to show it.
Oh, let's do it. You want to do it?
We'll have to find a way.
Video of it so we don't have to screw up.
Yeah, okay, we'll do I have a video that I did for Bruce's birthday, and we have one of Yolanda going like this for 15 times before.
Yeah, we're not putting Yolanda on. All right, Ben. All right, so I'm challenging you, Ben. You do a Sabre video. I will do a Sabre video. We're going to show them both Tuesday, and winner, I don't know what winner gets, but winner's going to get something based on people's judging. And if anybody else out there likes to Sabre bubbles, which is, to be honest, the whole reason I drink bubbles is so I can savor the bottle. My kids know to go look for the
brutal.
Train them well. But yeah, let's savor some wine Tuesday. I'm loving this.
All right, good. I look forward to it. Have a savor.
Practice. No. All right, Ben. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Thank you. Cheers. We're getting good. All right, everybody. Catch you guys Tuesday with our sabers.
Drink, and enjoy life.
Drinking, yeah, right. Why not? Cheers.